and Kolami. Beautiful. So first of all, I wanted to thank you for having me. And I just wanted to say a couple of words at the beginning, unrelated to the topic. So first of all, this has been a wonderfully enriching experience for me to be able to be here on the occasion of my brother's Memorial Weekend, and my entire family is very, very honored that Kolami has set this up in perpetuity. And so I wanted just to begin with a couple of thank yous. I wanted to thank, I think you have, this congregation has always been blessed with great clergy. And I want to give a shout out to Rabbi Bob Judd. Give it up for Bob. Bob was kind enough from the very beginning of this process to be in touch with me regularly and to help guide me with the committee in terms of making some choices as to what to present. And I know that Rabbi Bob is completing his tenure here. I want to just say that, my brother always thought the most important thing about being a rabbi was that you had to be a mensch. And I will tell you that my experience with you, even though from a distance, by the way, you look like him a little bit, but that you have to take, this congregation has to take that up with their psychologist. But in any event, you are a true mensch and a wonderful friend and colleague and a holy brother. So wishing you Schlossberg. And then I wanted to also acknowledge, of course, Cantor Beth, and similarly, as she and I have been in touch over the last few months, I guess, preparing something informal for this morning and preparing for the weekend, etc. Similarly, she has been just terrific and wonderful. She takes my calls at 1 o'clock in the morning, 7 p.m. at night, whenever, Friday afternoon, etc., etc. Actually on Shabbos morning one time, she answered a phone call of mine between Shacharit and Musaf. That's how available she was to me. But more importantly than that, I just wanted to share with you that I think you guys are really, really blessed. She is a magnificent talent. And And again, more importantly than being a magnificent talent, she's really a lovely lady. And I just wanted to acknowledge both the cantor and the rabbi for their coordination with me over the weekend. Thank you very much. A couple other quick thank yous, if I may. I want to give a shout out to Brian and Sheila Shaw, who were kind enough to host me in the typical South African manner, meaning that I put on 10 pounds over the last couple of days, and they've always opened their homes to me and my family. And I know my brother, Zichrono Livracha, was very, very close with them, as he was with so many of you. So I wanted to thank you both for everything that you've done for us. So thank you, Toda Rabbah. And of course, I want to give a shout out to my sister-in-law, Amy, and to Eric for their kind hospitality over Shabbat. And one of the things that we said when we came down here was that we figured, whatever we did at the synagogue, it would go fine, because listen, between the rabbi, the cantor, and myself, we're all quasi-professionals, right? So we figured we could figure it out ourselves. But it was a pleasure to be with Mishpacha and to have all the beautiful cousins hang out, and that was truly a gift as well. So I know this has been, I was kibitzing with somebody before, and I know many of you have loving memories of my brother. And, I'm hoping that this was a little cathartic for your synagogue in the same way it was a little cathartic for me in a good way. And I know that, some of the times in the past have been more difficult and fraught with different emotions. But today I really wanted to just celebrate the connection that this synagogue continues to have with him. And that I know that, God be willing, he still has with you. Amen. Amen. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Kol hashamat hallelujah, hallelujah, morning. I mean, half asleep, but you still sound okay, which is terrific. And we're just thrilled to be here. So we're going to do a little exercise because, you know, one of the things that I believe in doing the cantorial work is that the most important thing, sometimes people will say to me, you know, what's the most inspiring part for you to be a cantor, right? And they'll say to me, is it when you get to sing the Hineni in front of the congregation before Musaf on the high holidays? I'll say, no, not really. They'll say to me, and they say, why not? I say, because Hineni is this prayer all about how humble the cantor is. In the meantime, the cantor sings for 25 minutes and says, look at me. So, whatever. No offense, Beth, no offense. So then the question is, oh, maybe the Kol Nidre is the most exciting part for you as the cantor, to which I say, no. And they say, why not? I said, because you read this anachronistic text and nobody has any clue what it means, so that can't be so meaningful either. But for me, the most meaningful part of a high holiday service is when we sing the Aleinu at the end of the service. Because you have the whole kahila, and just about everybody knows Aleinu. And just to hear that whole sound coming this way to you is fantastic. So we're going to put you on the spot a little bit. And we're going to see how your singing is. Okay, you ready? So we're going to do something called fun in the round. Okay? And I'm going to call up my lovely colleague here, and we're going to sing. We'll start with something very simple. Okay? We're going to start with a little. Let's do a Hine Matov, and then we'll do a little. Doing after that? Something else. Matovu, I guess. Okay? So we'll just let Beth get wired up.
I'm always wired.
Yeah, I know you are. When I met with her on Friday, she said to me, I'm always wired. So. Okay, so what we're going to do is just a simple little Hine Matov, which we know, and we'll start this, let's see, we've got 8 tables here, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, you're starting first. 1, 2, 3, 4, you're second. Okay, you know the tune, right? So let's just sing it once together so make sure we know it. Hine Matov Unanayim Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Unanayim Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. Okay, so we know it. You guys are starting. Here we go. Hine Matov Unanayim Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Unanayim Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. We're going up. Hine Matov Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Unanayim Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Unanayim Shevet Avim. No trouble, one more time, we're going up. Hine Matov Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Shevet Avim Gam Yachad. Call me, call me, call me, fun in the round. You guys probably know this. Probably know this. We'll do it once together, right? Well, one more time just to make sure. coming after us. It'll be fun in the round. Amen. My Tov, oh, Yaakov, Mishkenoteha, Israel. Do it again. My Tov, oh, Yaakov, Mishkenoteha, Israel. My Tov, oh, Yaakov, Mishkenoteha, Israel. One more time. My Tov, oh, Yaakov, Mishkenoteha, Israel. Hey, call me, fun at the ram. Beautiful, beautiful. That's why she went to Cantorial school, by the way, because she knows how to do the hard part. So, okay, very good. So, try one more for you, okay? The words are there, Sim Shalom, Tova V'racha. Can you hear me okay, or not really? Okay.
Fix your mic.
Oh, thank you, dear.
There you go.
Thank you. There's nothing inappropriate there, by the way. The reason I'm saying that is because when we were beginning, I was sitting at the piano for a minute, and my daughter comes up. Was it my daughter, or it was Shira? Shira comes up to me. She says, "Are you and Beth going to sit on the bench together?" And I said, "No, it'd be very inappropriate." You know? Mike's not here, though, right?
No, you're good.
Okay, fine. It's okay. It's
Not in the
okay. Mike's not here and Rachel's okay with it. So in any event, let's go. So here, next thing, okay? So listen, we got this tune, right, that you know. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha Vein V'Chesed V'Rachamim V'Rachamim Aleinu Ve'Yalko Yisrael Ve'Yalko Yisrael Amecha. One more time. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha Vein V'Chesed V'Rachamim V'Rachamim Aleinu Ve'Yalko Yisrael Ve'Yalko Yisrael Amecha. We're going to start, and Beth is going to bring in the rest of the group. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha Vein V'Chesed V'Rachamim V'Rachamim Aleinu Ve'Yalko Yisrael Ve'Yalko Yisrael Amecha. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha Vein V'Chesed V'Rachamim V'Rachamim Aleinu Ve'Yalko Yisrael Ve'Yalko Yisrael Amecha. One more time. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha Vein V'Chesed V'Rachamim V'Rachamim Aleinu Ve'Yalko Yisrael Ve'Yalko Yisrael Amecha. We're done. Yes, great job, Colleen. Okay, beautiful. So we're going to sing a couple of songs that you've probably heard before, just some fun sing-alongs, and I hope that you'll join in with us. And I just want to tell you a quick little mice about Jewish songwriting, if you will. So, you know, there are a lot of a lot of composers in the world of Jewish music. And perhaps one of the most well-known and famous composer was Shlomo Carlebach, right? So he wrote a whole bunch of stuff, and Shlomo Carlebach was basically a Hasidic rabbi who grew up in the New York area, New York, New Jersey area, and he was a real Yodea Sefer. He was a real wise person and a very learned individual. When he was 20 years old, he was offered to be the Rosh Yeshiva of Lakewood Yeshiva in New Jersey, right? So you know Lakewood Yeshiva is a oy voy voy yeshiva. You know, it's not like the yeshiva that the three of us went to, okay? It's an oy voy voy yeshiva. And at that time, he was offered this position. He said, no, I can't do it because I prefer writing music and sharing my stories about Jewish life. And when my brother and I were about 15 years old, Shlomo Carlebach came to Toronto to do a Malava Malka, and we went to somebody's house on a late Saturday night, and he was there, and he was singing songs and telling stories, Hasidic Shermaisus, etc. And Shlomo Carlebach had a claim to fame. And his claim to fame, which was a great lesson for us as Jewish people, was that Shlomo Carlebach claimed that he had personally kissed more Jews than any other Jew in the world. And so when you walked into the Malava Malka, you were introduced, and he would kiss you right away. True story. Now, mind you, he had 4 wives, but that's beside the point. But it is a true story. So, in any event, you know, Jewish composing comes in lots of different shapes and forms, and we're just going to throw a couple of little things at you, if you don't mind. Because Cantor Beth is so flexible, I'll show her what we're going to do. Okay, let's do a couple of these, okay? Can you hear me? Yes. Too bad for you. Here we go. Beautiful. So the text obviously is from Hallel, and it's a beautiful text. And it says that you call out to God even from the depths, and God hears you, and that's a beautiful beautiful concept, okay? So let's just see some of these regular Jewish things that you might know, okay? Yismehu hashamayim, Yismehu hashamayim, v'tagei haaretz, Yiramayam, 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 Melo, Yiramayam, 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 Melo, Yismehu hashamayim, Yismehu hashamayim, Yismehu hashamayim, v'tagei haaretz, Yiramayam, 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 Melo, Yiramayam, 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 Melo. Give yourselves a hand. Very good, very good. Especially
You guys thought that you were just going to be listening all morning long, but we figured we would not get the crowd if we told you that we were going to make you work too.
That's true. Amen, 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 amen. Beautiful. Hey, let libi, Hosanna ve'amna titalem. Hey, let hamda libi, Hosanna ve'amna titalem. Hey, let hamda libi, Hosanna ve'amna titalem. Hey, let libi, Hosanna ve'amna titalem. Hey, let hamda libi, Hosanna ve'amna titalem. Hey, let hamda libi, Hosanna ve'amna titalem. You know what we gotta do? First of all, you sound great. The only thing is that I have a flight to catch at 1:15, so you gotta sing it faster. Hey, let hamda libi, Hosanna ve'amna titalem. 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 Pretty good for a bunch of Jews, you know? Not bad, right? Beautiful, great. Okay, let's go back to the Jewish piano.
Bet you didn't know they had denominations.
Yeah.
Something under it that says it's Jewish.
It's been snip, that's right. All right, what do we got? Ladies go? All right.
So one of the prayers that you recite on Shabbat morning, very important prayer. The idea of men not learning war anymore, which is fulfillment of a prophetic vision. You know, each and every time that we pray, we're told there the question is, what's the biggest bracha that you can have, right? And the Shulchan Aruch tells you the biggest bracha that you can have is the bracha of Shalom. And that's why every time you say an Amidah, the last bracha is Havarech Asama Yisrael B'Shalom, and then you conclude again by saying Oseh Shalom B'Murmah, right? So this idea of us living in a world of peace is a great concept, and I don't want to go into politics, but North Korea, South Korea, whatever. Okay, let's go. Can you hear me okay? Good. Lo yisagoyel goyel, lo yisadu od milchama, lo yisagoyel goyel, lo yifedu od milchama, lo yisagoyel goyel, lo yifedu od milchama, lo yisagoyel is from our buddy Carla Bach. Okay? Am Yisrael, 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 Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai, Am Yisrael, 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 Am Yisrael. Together, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Last time, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu Chai, Od Avinu, Od Avinu, Od Avinu Chai. Beautiful job, beautiful job. Give it up for Cantor Beth. Oh, very nice. You guys really sound great. I'd like to bring you all back to New Jersey with me to sing in the high holiday choir, but then Beth would be upset with me.
You can't take my choir.
I know.
My choir. This is my choir.
I understand.
Every Shabbos I have this fabulous choir, and you know the way that the synagogue is set up, or the sanctuary is set up, is actually acoustically backwards. But I love it because all of the sound comes towards me. So when you guys are all sitting in the kahal and singing along, or whatever tefillah we're on, it's this cacophony of sound that just comes right at me, and I love it.
And I love the SAT word, cacophony.
Thank you.
Amazing. Mazel tov. Beautiful. Very impressive. Very impressive. She's not just a pretty face. probably the best conservative shul in Tampa, Florida.
He had a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to share with you because, Shavuos is coming up. And the fact is, the only thing we learned in Cantor school for Shavuos was basically, like some PU team that we never sing in synagogues. So we're going to just blow off Shavuos entirely, and we're going to go to the high holidays, okay? We're going to get in the mood for the next high holiday, and this is a tune written by Saul Zim. And Saul Zim is a composer that many of you may have heard. Oh, actually, I know the story. Do you know the Saul Zim story? So when I was in Chicago, we decided we were going to bring in Saul Zim for a program. And Saul Zim, his publicity says, America's superstar of Jewish music. So I said, okay, fine, America's superstar of Jewish music. Now, Saul Zim these days is 80 years old, and the guy's got more talent in his pinky finger than any of us. He's just like an amazing, amazing entertainer. So Saul Zim comes up to my shul, and at that point I had like 30, 40 kids who participated in our choir. It was a phenomenal, phenomenal success. So what do? I call up my brother, and I say to him, listen, Joel, you got to bring in Saul Zim to your shul. He says, I say, Joel, listen, you got to trust me. This is going to be phenomenal. Call him, he is going to love it. He's like, okay, fine, whatever. So he calls up Saul Zim, makes arrangements with Saul Zim. Saul Zim flies down to Tampa, Florida, and for the first time in his 40-year career, he got sick on the airplane and he couldn't sing a note when he came to call him in. After which point, my brother called me up and said, schmuck. So this is a little tune of his.
Like silly rhyme.
Yes.
This is actually a melody that we should be fairly familiar with.
This is your pre-high holiday test from your Cantor.
Okay, just give me the lines. I can begin.
Here we go. Rosh Hashanah. So we're gonna, I know we're getting a little tight on time, how sad. Another Zim song, which you probably know, right? Any of this?
No, it's pretty easy one.
Okay, so hopefully you'll learn it with us. Okay, just like this. I know we're tight on time, so we have to pare it down a little bit. Just quickly finish up with me. I just wanted to say what a pleasure and a bracha it is here to be with all of you. Come up. I do have the sense that it's it's great to be here, and I just want to thank you for it. And I want to again thank Cantor Beth. Amazing talent. You guys are very lucky to have together. In name of That's right, I had to edit down my, sorry, my fault.